I want to make a decent bike out of these half-rusted parts. And first of all I will try to bring the frame to mind. It is necessary to remove the insulation, and then clean and paint it. The nut turned out to be welded and had to be cut off. Pre-cleaning is finished. Now I will remove the paint. By the way, it turned out to be much easier and faster to remove old paint with an ordinary stationary knife than with a drill. I practically cleaned the frame. It remains to sand it in some places, and it will be possible to prime it. Well, finally, the most tedious and lengthy part of the work is completed. I cleaned and sanded the frame. Now you can move on to the next stage. And the next step is to remove this wonderful icon and you can prime the frame. Now I will apply 2 layers of this kind of soil and then, when it dries, it will be possible to paint. The soil has dried up, and now I will paint the frame with this black paint. So, I painted the frame, and as a result everything turned out almost perfect. Now it remains to do the same with the fork and trunk. The last parts I needed to paint were the wings. And now, finally, the assembly of the bike has begun. This process is much more interesting and faster than stripping and painting. The next part to recover is the carriage. I decided to redo it a little. Instead of a standard shaft, I want to put here such an upgraded shaft with powerful bearings on which the thread is cut. Such a modification will allow you to do it once and forget about this carriage node for a long time. Before assembling the front wheel, there was a small dilemma. I have two rims, but one of them is missing part of the spokes and this rim itself is quite outdated. But there is a good bushing here. But the second rim is more modern. Spokes are also missing here, but they are not as rusty as in the previous one. The main problem is that here is a bushing from a sports bike. To solve this dilemma, I will now disassemble these two rims, remove the bushing from here and move it here. Then, of course, you will have to center the bushing and align the wheel so that there is no beating. But nothing can be done. There is no other option. It turned out to disassemble the wheels very quickly, but the assembly and adjustment took much longer. Now I will not show all these processes, because the video would be very long, but one of the following videos will be completely devoted to this topic. Now you can put on a tire, pump up the wheel and put it in place. The rear wheel is also ready for installation. I sorted it out, leveled and tightened the spokes. Now you can put it in place, but first you need to install the pedals. That's what I'm going to do now. I also decided to replace the pedals themselves, since these ones have already left their own. They have lost their appearance, and instead of them I will put these plastic ones. In appearance, they look quite reliable. At first I forgot to put plastic protection, so I had to take off the pedals again. The most important part of the bike is in place. I will put a new chain, because the old one is missing. The bike assembly is almost finished. I fixed the wings, the trunk and put on new handles. Well, the final touch is decorative stickers. I printed out the picture of the stickers on paper, and then transferred them to self-adhesive. The bike run-in went great. Great bike. The driver is also handsome. After several days of hard work, it turned out to be quite a decent bike. This concludes this video. If you liked it, then don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Invex Lab channel. I thank you for watching and bye.
А вот
but the second rim. As a result, everything turned out almost perfectly. And now a car is driving and preventing me from recording video. Now I will disassemble these two rims and I'll throw them both out. And I'll go buy new ones. To do and forget. Forget everything. And here are the spokes on the second rim. Spokes on the second rim. This is very unexpected.